sometimes ideas don't always work out well, and that's proven to be the point of fact for Microsoft lately. Now, this is a bit of a situation where people are definitely kind of upset with how things are being handled and this generation in general. Like, I've mentioned this numerous videos, numerous times. This generation does not feel very special. It does not feel unique. It doesn't feel good, in fact. It just definitely feels like it's kind of a lackluster situation. But I think a lot of the things that Phil Spencer was betting on have not paid off, unfortunately. And, again, we're sitting here kind of looking at things going, how can things get better? Or could they possibly get any worse? Listen, things can always get worse for sure. I hope they don't. I hope that Microsoft definitely does something to keep, gaming going forward instead of where it's at right now, which is sort of like in this holding pattern due to, the fact that Microsoft doesn't seem to be very interested in their console anymore. But hey, I want to get started on this video. What's up, everybody? Crap Gamer here with Crap Gamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I appreciate it. Please like the video, share it out, all that kind of good stuff. It would mean a lot to me, and possibly even consider subscribing. So there's a lot of hoopla around, the Xbox Series S. Is it good? Is it bad? In my household, we have 4 Xbox Series S's, and I have an Xbox Series X as well. The Series S's seem fine. I think there is definitely a place for them. You do have to wonder if some of the ideas that, the hardware just isn't up to par with the Series X has held back, the Series X. I can understand this argument. You bought a Series X, but it's being held back because of a Series S. And, some people didn't buy a Series S. They bought the world's most powerful console, and they want to see, things kind of branch out from there. So, anyway, developers of GSC Game World are in the final stretch development of Stalker 2 after going through lots of hardships. And at Gamescom, the PR specialist and lead producer were interviewed to discuss what's left before launch and the optimization of the Series S version, which ended up getting help from the Xbox team. According to them, it says, well, our team is mature enough to take care of many aspects of the game themselves, yet the Xbox team knows best how the Xbox performs and what's better to do in a case like this when we need to go deeper into optimization. The Microsoft team visited several times, providing essential expertise on what else we could do and what we could think of. It's not over yet. Aside from Xbox Series X, we're still working on optimizing Xbox Series S. It's going well, and the Xbox team is contributing a lot. On the Series X, we have 2 available modes. One of them is Performance Mode, where Stalker 2 is running with 60 frames per second and slightly different graphics than in Quality Mode, which looks super awesome with all the reflections and high-resolution textures, but runs at 30 frames per second. We're trying to achieve a similar experience on the Xbox Series S by combining these 2 approaches, and so far we have it at 25 frames per second on the Series S, but we have space to optimize. I also asked about the Game Pass partnership with Xbox, according to this interview, and they expressed gratitude for all the support they received from Microsoft during the making of Stalker 2, saying, that's right, that's a Game Pass partnership, and Microsoft is not pushing us in any way to release on any date or just put the content out of the game or something like that. Actually, Microsoft, they're super supportive of us, and we didn't really ask someone from Microsoft to be our friends, but Sarah Bond is obviously a friend of the game. Phil Spencer was super supportive, and all the teams at Microsoft were. They didn't put any additional pressure on us. So Stalker 2 is releasing on November 20th. It's available on Game Pass Day 1. It looks like it should be a console exclusive for Microsoft's platform for at least 3 months, although this was never acknowledged by Microsoft or GSC Game World. So again, we have these types of things like, listen, Stalker 2, obviously, Microsoft paid for some type of exclusivity and marketing and things like that. And, a lot of people are kind of talking about this Wukong thing lately, that it kind of leaked out that, maybe Sony paid for some kind of exclusivity with that game and, just aren't talking about it. And I've mentioned this as well. I did Mooch's podcast, and I said, listen, Sony's at the point where they don't have to talk about their partnerships anymore because it doesn't really make a difference, honestly, just quite factually. Their business is doing incredibly well. by not talking about the partnership. First of all, with a game like Wukong, the game's selling itself. Word of mouth is kind of pushing it as well. So you have all these very interesting reasons why it's kind of getting, good sales. Sony doesn't have to do any advertising. And it makes Xbox look bad and makes it look like an undesirable console. So, you have all these things kind of happening. And why would Sony ever in a million years try to change that or change people's perceptions of that? So, again, when I look at this and I look at kind of what's going on, I definitely see that, Microsoft is definitely kind of in a weird space right now. And, again, we're seeing different things happen around gaming right now, but one of the things that a lot of people are talking about is the Series S, and that was rumored to be the problem with why Wukong couldn't come to Xbox. We don't know 100% for sure what the actual issue is, but we do know factually that like Baldur's Gate 3 didn't come to Xbox day and date with PlayStation 5 because of the Series S, and it was tough to optimize for. We also know that there's other developers who have come out and spoken negatively of the Xbox Series S, and again, I can see why some people do that. It's like a next gen thing, and then you have this console that kind of doesn't really feel all that next gen. But I do cut it some slack, because if you think about it, like even that Fallen Jedi Order game is actually releasing on last gen hardware. Like they ported it to last gen hardware. That should really tell you that a lot of these developers that are releasing games on the old hardware are doing so because there's so many people still on them, right? Like they're saying, some people say around 50-50 on PS4 and PS5, and maybe even more on Xbox One than Xbox Series X and S, which makes sense because almost 60 million Xbox One consoles sold, and there's only like 24, 25 million Series X and S's out in the world. So it makes sense that there's more of those available. But again, a lot of people are calling for the end of the Series S. I don't really know how I feel like that. I feel like, hey, we're already in year 4, going in year 5 soon. At some point you're going to have to scrap it for sure. But the fact that, games like Stalker 2 only running at like 25 frames per second, I think that is a bit of an issue, and it could make Xbox look bad. And hopefully they can get something kind of worked out before too long. I would love to see Microsoft be able to go out there and get something going that gets people excited about, gaming again. We haven't seen that in like a very, very long time. And, again, let's hope for the best here. Like Microsoft, I think it is too late for them to kind of go out there and, do anything that's going to like realistically like change gaming in any type of way. But what they can do is get people excited about what they have right now, and I think that could be something that we see come along before too long. And I would love to see that. I want to see Microsoft do well. I want to see Sony do well. I want to see these companies, play off each other and give the fans some amazing things, and I think that's what we're missing this generation is, so much people, we get caught up in these whole console war things, and it really takes away from the focus of the games themselves, and, all the different things that we look to as gamers, and again, stuff like the Xbox Series S, it's a little bit contentious, and I can see why, but without it, just think where Xbox would be. I don't think they'd be in a very good place at all, and I think gaming would be in a much worse place as well. It's a really good entry point. Just look at all the people that have been playing like college football thanks to this game console. The people that are probably going to buy it to play like GTA 6, it's the shortest port of entry, you can routinely find these consoles for like $199. So for $200, I think that'll be like the cheapest way to play a lot of these games. And again, it has its rights to kind of do what it wants and kind of be there. I understand people's negativity around it, saying, oh, well, it's holding back gaming. I think the last gen hardware is holding back gaming way worse. I mean, we have gotten some current gen only stuff, but I think, at the end of the day, we're going to have to wait and see if developers can actually take advantage of these hardware pieces anytime soon. Because right now, it's been kind of sad. It's been kind of a sad generation. Like there's games that look really good, but is it really sad, in my opinion, that one of the best games of this entire generation is like a budget title RoboCop game. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you so much for watching. I certainly appreciate it. And make sure you guys like the video, share it out, subscribe, and let me know what you guys have for ideas in terms of the channel and things like that. Thanks for watching. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.